Hello and welcome to Balclone Cloud. In this demonstration, we're going to take a look at the new cool feature, which is making use of the Jira scheduler, where you can automate job and integrate it to Balclone and reuse some of the templates. So reoccurring jobs or manually triggered jobs or workflow transitions can be automated. So this will save you a ton of job or a ton of time rather when you're running reoccurring cloning operations. So when we start, we're going to take a look at some of the spaces, and I want to clone a bunch of stuff into the Gladiator 6 project. So essentially I want to take something from another project or clone something from another project and clone it into the Gladiator 6. So let's take a look at the scheduler. So if you have the right privileges, you will get this menu and access to the space settings. You go into the space settings and you choose automation, and you should get into the automation. And as you can see here, I've already prepared two types of triggers in here. So my manually triggered or my manually trigger, which I can then automate, or a workflow transition trigger. But I thought we'll build our schedule trigger together so you can have an idea how you set up the work and how you integrate it with Balclone. So I create something from scratch, and actually what I want to do is schedule something, right? So I want a job to run every day at 1 o'clock, or on this day, 1 o'clock rather. And I want it to be reoccurring at 1 o'clock every Thursday, and it should never end basically. So once that is set up, I can then add a component. And the component here then makes use of the integration we've done with Balclone. So now you can attach a Balclone work with the scheduler basically. And here's the really cool thing then. So if you have a template which you have saved earlier on, and if you take a look at some of the templates which we can see from earlier demos, you can actually see that a template is something you can access here, or you can save it by the end of the cloning operation. So we can actually make use of the large epic to stories preset in our automation. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's choose the large to epic to stories, and you can actually see what has been preset here, right? And what you can expect. So down here, you can actually see what project it's actually getting its data from, or its issues from, basically. You can choose to override that if you want, but if you're happy with that one, just validate it to make sure that it works and that you get the right number of issues you're hoping for. And of course, I want some sort of notification in this one also when it's ended. So that is pretty much it. Now I can turn on this rule, and I call it my scheduled rule, or job rather. And I turn it on. So now it will fire at 1 o'clock today, and the job will then run. So you can actually see now that this has popped up here, and you can actually see that it's enabled as well. So you can actually take a look at the audit log also once it's been running, so you can actually see if it's been successful or not. So these are the translation tables for the various statuses. So once it runs, you can see the status of success here if it goes through properly. You can also make use of our logging capabilities, which you find in Balclone as well, to see what happens if something goes wrong. So this sort of takes care about the setting up of a new job, where you can schedule things for automation. In a similar fashion, it works exactly the same way for manually triggered job. The only difference is you choose manually triggered here in the beginning instead of scheduled. And you can do the same thing for a workflow transition. Then you use work item transition. One thing I wanted to show you is that when you set up a manually triggered job, as in this instance here, when you go back, so let's go back, and you would choose an item. On the little flash here, you can actually see those triggers popping up here, basically. So once you press this one, whatever job bulk clone is carrying out is happening once you press this one. We won't do that now. So this sort of takes care about the scheduling capabilities. This is quite powerful, especially for reoccurring jobs and jobs you want to automate for any various reasons. If it's scheduled jobs, or if it's workflow transitions that should fire some work, or if it's something that should be fired by your personal user initiative, can all be set up and integrated with bulk clone. And that takes care of this demo, and I hope to see you soon.